want to thank you for being here and being our first interview for SMC Versus, and we're just going to ask you a few questions.
Let's go.
Jimmy, you're quite the versatile swingman, as you like to call yourself. You do some production work, you're also a bit of an entrepreneur, and you're also a writer. Can you kind of elaborate more about some of the things you do and some of the projects that you have on the go right now?
Well, as probably most of your readers know, I acted and I co-wrote and co-produced a movie called Ping Pong Play a little while ago. But yeah, I do all sorts of different things, from writing and directing and producing to some of the minor stuff that's not as sexy, like the production accounting and the production managing. Handle a bit of the business stuff for Cherry Sky Films, a production company behind Ping Pong Playa, as well as a co-production company behind Better Luck Tomorrow, Finishing the Game, as well as a recent Sundance documentary called A Small Act that we exec produced. And then entrepreneurial speaking, a couple of friends of myself, we started a company called Venom Sportswear. If you want to check it out, venomsportswear.com, which is a clothing line, but also kind of a place where we could make these commercials on the website. And so we really do sell clothing on there. You can check out some of the commercials there. And I do a little bit of writing too. I have a pseudonymous novel called Go Opium Pandemonium Go that I wrote under the pen name of Tequila Rush. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Tequila Rush? What's that? Where did the name Tequila Rush come from?
Well, tequila is the name of a character from one of my favorite movies, Hard Boiled, starring Chow Yun-fat and Tony Leung, directed by John Woo. And I don't know, it just seemed to kind of have a ring to it when I added Jeffrey Rush's surname there behind it. So.
Just to let you guys know, I am displaying one of Venom Wear's awesome t-shirts, and I'm telling you, I wear this all the time. People always have a comment about this. I'm not Chinese, or I don't speak Mandarin, but you want to explain that a little bit?
I do want to explain it because some of the parents' generation, they get a little unnerved when they see the character, which is pronounced Stu, which means venom or poison, but in some cases, like in the news, refers to drugs, but it actually isn't a reference to drugs. There's actually a clan, a martial arts clan from the literary universe of Chinese literature. Some of you guys are probably more familiar with the Wu-Tang clans and the Shaolin clans. Well, there's also a 5 poison or 5 venom clan. That's one of the smaller sects. So that's actually what inspired Venom Sportswear. So check it out, www.venomsportswear.com. And that's also the place where C-Dub, the character from Ping Pong Player, originated from.
It's some pretty funny stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. You're obviously a purveyor of Asian American arts, especially the movies. We've seen your clips, but you're also a big purveyor of sports. Now, you want to talk about it a little bit? He's wearing a San Antonio's championship shirt, by the way.
Right, that's
right.
Might
be their last one ever. What do you think?
Yeah, they're having a little bit of a rough time this season, but yeah, I'm a big hoops head. I have been since I was a kid. The earliest thing I can remember is I have an older brother, Wayne, who followed sports earlier than I did, and so when he started following sports, I kind of started to follow him as well, and so that's when I started tuning into basketball. We collected baseball cards and basketball cards and Garbage Pail Kid cards, and from there, I started playing basketball. Played on the middle school team. I unfortunately did not play on the high school team because I went to a performing visual arts high school, and we didn't have athletics. So that was the end of my, I guess, professional, well, not even professional, amateur career, outside of playing in like community hoops leagues, which I did throughout high school, and some intramurals and stuff like that in college. And nowadays, I once in a while play in some adult leagues, but I haven't actually played basketball in 3 or 4 months. So that's the disclaimer to our one-on-one game, which we're about to have in a few minutes, from my understanding.
Is he already making excuses? Now, are you from Texas? You seem to have an affinity for Texas teams.
Yeah, I did. I actually grew up in Houston, Texas, and from the age of 2 all the way through high school. So people ask me, "Oh, why aren't you a Houston Rockets fan then?" And I guess I was a victim of commercialization at one point. I started following the Spurs around the David Robinson era, and I don't know if you remember, there was the Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood commercial campaign by Nike, and from there I was kind of sucked into being a San Antonio Spurs fan and have been ever since. Now, the Houston Rockets, though, are my second favorite team, of course, because they have Yao Ming as their center, and I'm a big Yao Ming fan.
I also know one other college player that you've been following. What are your thoughts on Jeremy Lin?
I'm very excited actually by the prospects of Jeremy Lin because if he makes it into the NBA, he's going to be, at least from my research and understanding, the first full-blooded Asian American player in the NBA since Wat Misaka, who
Right.
actually, for our audience out there, I don't know if there's a little bit of a history lesson, but Wat Misaka was a Japanese American who was actually the first player to break the NBA color barrier, which a lot of people don't know. So I'm really excited by the prospect of Jeremy Lin, just because we've seen obviously a lot of imports that have come in through Europe and Asia. For Asia, we're speaking most notably about Yao Ming, Yi Jianlian, for a few years Sun Yue from China, who played on the Lakers. But Jeremy will be the first to grow up and play within the American college system, and I think his is an amazing story that a lot of people don't know about yet. But hopefully, if things pick up for him and he gets noticed and gets put on the NBA scouts' radar, he has a legit shot at making the NBA.
All right, one of the things that you're working on is the BeyondBadminton.com website, which we're working on together, and that's why I'm really honored to have him here. Very talented man. Why don't you talk a little bit about your feature articles, the other people's lunches, and the other contributions that you're going to make?
Well, without giving away the name of the title, Other People's Lunches, if people tune into the interview, I won't explain where it is from now, but if you read the interviews, you can find out where the phrase Other People's Lunches actually comes from. But it's a place where I'm going to be chatting with some notable Asian American artists or writers who don't necessarily cover basketball as a profession, but who I know are very passionate about basketball. And so we're going to be, talking with the likes of Justin Lin, who obviously, is the director of Better Luck Tomorrow, as well as Fast and Furious 3 and 4. And we're going to be meeting up at local dives in and around the Los Angeles area and just chit-chatting basketball from NBA to college to fantasy. And it's going to be one of the features, just like this is on BeyondBadminton.com, which is a site that we're starting up that's going to focus on Asians and Asian Americans in American sports. And it's kind of, for people like you and I, who, I don't know, for me, I found that online there was this void for places that we could go to read about the likes of a Jeremy Lin, or even a Max Zhang from Cal. These are guys who are kind of on the up and up, but haven't really broken through to the mainstream media. But people like you and I, and I'm sure others like ourselves, are very interested and curious about their stories. So this is going to be hopefully the place where people tune in and find out about those kind of things.
All right. Well, last but not least, so how many points do you think you score on me? Are we doing the one-on-one thing, or are we going to do free throws?
Let's do it, one-on-one.
This ain't ping pong.
Oh, I know. I know. You're lucky.
But I hope you got all your bricks out of the way, because you almost wrecked the rim just shooting around just in that interview.
I just want to get you into a sense of complacency before I dominate you